Scott, Dolphins and Bears on Sunday. What can't you wait to see?
Oh, that's my wrestling promo right there. That's all I need. I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see who these Miami Dolphins are. They lost a lot. They got questions about their culture. Tyreek Hill, Waddle, Tua, he's been healthy, but it still hasn't benefited. Listen, this was supposed to be boy genius. This was the first, the new Sean McVay when you talk about McDaniels. It hasn't worked out. I want to see, and I can't wait to see if they have a backbone.
Lewis, if we see Caleb, what do you want to see from him in the preseason?
Yeah, it's just going to be about timing and rhythm and accuracy. That's really what, what Ben Johnson is really trying to emphasize, it sounds like to him, is just playing within the structure of the offense, knowing where to go with the football, playing on time. Every play doesn't have to be a dramatic play. Again, it's the same thing for every young quarterback, right? That's what every coach wants him to do. Not create any negative plays of his own doing. Play within the context of the offense. Sometimes you're going to go off script because that's the way football is. But just learn the basics of this offense, and I think he's working hard to do that. I'm hoping he can display some of that.
Mike Tanman, Tyreek Hill's always been this electric player. You put up with a lot, but a lot of different sound coming out of Dolphins camp. He had a comment about how they ran practice, and McDaniel then responded to that. Tua came out. Tyreek Hill, should the Dolphins look to trade him?
No, you're trying to acquire explosive players like Tyreek Hill. Look, we know about their injuries in the secondary. They're going to have to outscore teams much the way we've talked about others. So, to me, when Tua is out there with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, they're as explosive as anybody. I'm doing the opposite, Peter. I am featuring him because they're going to have to score a lot of points, and they can with a healthy offensive group.
Well, you've been following this whole offseason. It was weird. He said, we shouldn't be giving the ball to Devon Achane. We should be giving it to Jalen Wright. Saying things that are really out of his wheelhouse, and yet do you put up with it? At some point, do you say, hey, dude?
There's always a breaking point, but I'm with Mike. The greater the talent, the greater the tolerance, as the great Andrew Brandt says all the time. And that's what this is. That's what this is about. They understand what he is. He's the most dangerous guy in the NFL in terms of being able to win a game on one single play in the blink of an eye. Him and Saquon, there's no one else who can touch them. So look, is it a distraction? Is it annoying as hell? Yeah, it is. Does it get to a point where, hey, look, they even may say, you know what, enough's enough. Now, I'm not saying Kansas City said that, but Kansas City, look, they were okay without
him, all right? Pay him what?
Exactly. So I think for here, though, in Miami, there's a much bigger picture thing going on with this football team than just Tyreek Hill. There's some other fundamental issues that Mike McDaniel needs to figure out here. And it's not just about getting the ball to Waddle and getting it to Tyreek. It's about doing what he kind of came up in the league being a specialist in, which is carving people up running the football, which this team can do when they commit to it. But no, they get kind of enamored with these perimeter players and want to throw the football all over the place. And the defensive coaches who I've talked to say, hey, look, we're locked in on what they want to do throwing the ball. And if that's what they want to do, things are going to be tough for Miami. So they're going to have to change it. There's a bigger picture problem going on here.
No Armstead. They lost a lot of talent. The window could be closed in Miami.
There's no question. And a lot of premium players coming off of injury.
2 years ago, they put up 70 points on Vance Joseph's defense in the Bronx. 70 points. I feel like that's been 20 years ago. Do you fear the Dolphins if you're a team like the Buffalo Bills in the AFC East?
I don't, because I think they're going to self-implode, right? They have a culture problem. When you start hearing things from other guys that have exited there saying, hey, guys are getting away with too many things. There's no structure, no discipline. When there's no discipline, I don't care how talented you are, then it's going to the wheels are going to fall off. You need who's the leaders? Who's the leaders there?
Yeah, that's all fair, but the two things they can do is score points. They can rush the passer with Bradley Chubb, Chop Robinson.
But see, that's the thing, though, Mike, right?
Phillips coming back.
When you're talking about Chubb and you're talking about Chop, I mean, these guys have to, and Jalen Phillips, these guys have to all stay on the field. Chop has to develop into that guy. Chubb and Phillips have to make sure that they stay healthy all season long. There's so many questions surrounding this team.
Really fascinating team. Jets-Packers is on Saturday night.
I can't wait for that one.
Bart, you can't wait, but what can't you wait about this particular matchup?
Listen, they bet on Justin Fields. And listen, I've been at practice, and we talk about how Caleb Williams is going to struggle with learning how to be under center. Well, Justin Fields as well, because they're trying to implement the Lions type of system there as well. I think they need to say, listen, understand what you have and build around it. That's what great coordinators do. I want to see, they should look like the 2019 Baltimore Ravens. It should be those three running backs. It should be Justin Fields throwing the ball 20, 25 times, play with great defense, and run with that three-headed monster and use him like a used rental car. You know how those rental cars are. You smoke cigarettes in it. You got McDonald's packages in the back. You abuse it because you know you ain't bought it.
Ketchup package.
Yeah, don't count. You ain't buy it. You
Giving
rent it.
back. That's how you want to treat Justin Fields, like a used rental car.
Absolutely. Run, baby, run.
When is your show on in New York every day?
Yeah, about 10 o'clock.
Okay, that's good. Everyone, that's what you're getting. Okay. Then Mike, what are your thoughts on a used rental car, Justin Fields?
I'm buying Justin Fields. I'm not renting him. He is as like-minded with his head coach as we've seen in a long time coming out of the Jets. I'm not sure how many points this team is going to score, but they are going to be tough. They're going to be well coached. And I'm just really intrigued by Justin Fields. He's reunited with Garrett Wilson, where they had massive production at Ohio State. And I think the way they're going to play offense is they're not going to turn the ball over. They're not going to have a lot of, like what we've talked about, self-inflicted wounds. So I think Justin Fields has a chance to stick around.
800 yards. They need about 800, 900 yards.
Like I've said it all offseason, and Mike, you know as well as anyone with this football team. Look, Tanner Engstrand, the offensive coordinator, that is the guy who has the bright lights on him. Because really, the philosophy of this offense is pretty simple. It should be pretty, so evident to him and make your head spin. Look at all the investments they made on the offensive line. Look at the backs and look at your quarterback. You should be top 5 in the league running the football. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if you're not, Tanner Engstrand, you should be looking for work a year from now. It should be that simple. Run this football and run it down everyone's throat. You have the horses to do it.
Let's look to the other side of that game, because I think the Packers are really interesting too. And Jordan Love has gotten a little bit better. Then you're kind of wondering, is he plateauing or could he get to that next level? We know how Mike Tannenbaum feels about him going into 2025. But I look at that wide receiver room. Lewis, what stands out to you?
The drops. That was the problem a year ago, and that's something they need to really fix this year. They have to make sure they're hauling in the football. They had, a top 5 highest drop rate among the wide receiver position last year? You just can't have that. Romeo Doubs, you got to be able to catch the ball. Watson, you got to be able to catch the ball. They have to come through for this young quarterback, who has mentioned already that rookie Matthew Golden has been spectacular in training camp, has been very dependable for them. And look, Jordan Love, I'm with Mike. I'm a big supporter of him, and I believe he is uber talented. But as we know, quarterbacks are only good also as the people around them. And if he can get the wide receiver group, which is young and green, to come along and really develop, this team is dangerous.
And they're deep at that position.
This team is dangerous.
They have a lot of young guys, and they're like a basketball team, different sizes, different positions. So I am not out on that Packers wide receivers room, even though they don't have that bona fide number 1. Bart, one more game for you. Commanders versus Patriots. They're doing some inter-squad practicing today. What can't you wait to see in this one?
These young quarterback matchups, right? I believe they were come out of the same draft, right? Or close to it, right?
Yeah.
You got Jayden Daniels. Is he going to have like the sophomore slump when you think about what happened with C.J. Stroud? We thought he was going to be otherworldly. I mean, can they figure out this carry stuff, right? Can they get him satisfied? Because this team has going all in, and they have a window, a unique window, just like the Seahawks had, the Texans had, to be able to win with a quarterback where you can go out and get hired guns, you can get mercenaries. They have an opportunity, a 5-year window before they have to make him the highest paid player in the NFL as well. So can they take advantage of that? And also the Vrabel effect. Can Josh McDaniels do something with Drake May? They spent a lot of money in the offseason. They won the offseason. They spent a lot of money. They needed to spend a lot of money. But can Vrabel be the right guy?
I'm wondering if Adam Peters, the GM of the Commanders, is watching us all week and watching us talk Micah and talking about Jerry and saying, okay, good, because that takes the spotlight off of us. Because honestly, this situation is almost as concerning that Terry McLaurin's still
It is.
But this is a front office that's batted 1,000 since they've been there.
They sure have.
Terry McLaurin's under contract. He's going to be a free agent. If they don't get a deal done, he just plays, and we'll see what happens.